All right, welcome back. Got a real quick one today. So, in addition to installing our solar panels, since it's raining outside, we can't really do anything anyway. We've got these modular level power electronics, MLPE. What these things do is it creates like a switching mechanism at every solar panel, or in my case, I'm going to use for a cluster of solar panels. This is a requirement per the National Electric Code for the module level shutoff. How these things work is you clip this to the side of the rim or the edge of the solar panels, and then you connect your MC4 connectors into these leads right here. And in essence, it kind of holds the power inside this unit. So for every panel that produces power, it's kind of stopped here. It's cut off. And you would string along all your solar panels as you normally would. And in the circuit, you have this device which places a tone lead. You have a device like this. And what this device does is it's powered by a 12-volt source, and it puts a tone. It's kind of like an inductive system, and you run a wire through here. Well, anyway, just assume that there's a long run of wire, and you just run it through the circuit as such, like that. And once this is activated, it places a tone on the line, and because all of these are strung together, it sends a signal to all of these boxes. And once the boxes receive these signals, it allows the electricity to flow for the panel that it's installed on. And that's how we created a module level power control mechanism. So my explanation using the components probably isn't very clear, so I figure I'd draw a little sketch. So if you see right here, these are your solar panels, and normally without this module, you would just connect them in series. Well, in our case, we would just connect them directly one to another in series. So what this module does is, instead of connecting the panels in series, you put the module on one of the corners, and then you connect it to each module instead. And by the same token, you also connect these modules in series. The difference is, by doing so, even when they're all connected, they are not kind of contributing power into the circuit. So what happens is, you have all these modules connected, and you have either a positive or a negative. Let's say positives this way, negatives this way. It's going over here. Now over here you have a knife switch of some sort. It has to be a DC switch or a fuse, but we're not going to get into the details of it. It goes in your inverter. It takes the direct current that's coming in, it's DC, and it inverts it into an alternating current for your appliances. So what this module, how it's controlled is, you have a device that is looped around one of the lines in the circuit, either positive or negative, and you plug this in to an existing alternating current service, like a line power, and this is just a little adapter that turns it into 12 volts DC at 1 amp. And once it's connected, it'll put a tone on this wire. And when power is coming in here, and at the same time these modules receive this tone, it'll enable the electricity flow from each junction. So every module would, in essence, just let through the electricity that is being generated. And that's how you, that is the purpose of these modules. Now the advantage is this, without these modules, if something catastrophic should happen and you cut off the power right here, right? So you can work on your inverter, but the problem is when the sun is shining, and if it's hitting all your panels, this circuit right here, even though you're not getting the power on this side anymore, this is still at a very high potential. And so if God forbid, something happens and one of the panels catches fire and you need to go put it out, if you're dumping water on here, you could be creating a circuit with your stream of water and your body, with all this potential. So a lot of times the voltage on these systems can be in upwards of 400 or 500 volts, and so it could get ugly quick, and that's why you have this. Now with this, you can unplug it, the tone will stop, and all these modules will default back to an off position. So as much power as there are in here, it'll only be based on each individual panel, or in my case, I'm going to be putting a couple weak panels together and controlling them with these things. So yeah, I hope this helps clarify why I have all these extraneous parts for my solar system.